is Anna, and today I'm going to be presenting my psychological analysis project. And I'm just going to kind of run through some of the information and kind of tell you about Ed Gein. So, to start off, Ed Gein was a murderer and grave robber born on August 27th in La Crosse County, Wisconsin. He grew up on a farm and lived with his mother, father, and brother. His father couldn't keep a job for long and was an avid drinker. His mother was super strict and religious and told him and his brother that the world was full of sin. Most of that sin involved women. Besides farming, him and his brother spent most of their time doing chores and listening to their mother read the Bible. The family was poor and kept to themselves. Due to his upbringing, he did not learn how to be social or make friends very well. Ed would occasionally laugh to himself, which could have been an early sign of his schizophrenia condition. While his mom was dying, he spent a lot of time reading about death and anatomy. And in 1940, his dad died of heart failure. And in 1944, his brother died in a fire near their property while he was burning some leaves. And then in 1945, his mom died from a stroke. And from then on, he was even more isolated with nobody to live with him. Most of his crimes were committed in 1950 in and around Plainfield, Wisconsin. Police discovered his crimes in 1957 after Bernice Worden went missing. When officers searched his home on the same day, they found evidence for murder and grave robbing, and police found body parts made into household items with the bones and the skin and furniture. He made furniture out of them. Ed's isolation became obsession for bringing his mom back, almost like he wanted to be her. Ed killed 2 women, Mary Hogan and Bernice Worden. From the human skin, he made lampshades, masks, clothes, and that, when they opened the house, that's what they saw. So, what happened to Bernice? On November 16th, 1957, when the main crime occurred, a hardware store owner, Bernice Worden, went missing. Her son, a deputy sheriff for the county, started an investigation, and he realized the last sale from the night before was to Ed for antifreeze. When police went to search his home that day, they found skulls, bones, masks, and furniture made of the skin. Bernice's body was found, cut open, hanging upside down in his shed, drained of blood. Police arrested Gein immediately, and he was calm when being questioned and confessed to killing Bernice, and then later admitted to killing Mary. He was found incompetent for trial and diagnosed with schizophrenia. In 1968, doctors found him competent and stood for trial of Bernice Worden. The court found him guilty, but legally insane. He was seen as not fit to be tried, and he was committed to a mental hospital and lived in psychiatric hospitals from 1957 until he died in 1984. He was in psychiatric care for around 27 years. He died from cancer-related issues inside of the state facility. Many movies were based off of Ed for his crimes, and police used photography to document the house, the bodies, and artifacts for courtroom evidence. Autopsies determined the cause of death and the injuries for the bodies. They used Latin fingerprints to find the fingerprints inside of the house and on the victims. Hairs were analyzed, linking victims to the suspect. Ballistics experts compared Gein's firearm bullets to the body's wounds and injuries using microscopes. Ed showed psychopath behaviors like a lack of empathy, detached view of the bodies, distorted attachments to things and people, and violent fantasies that later turned into planned actions. What disorders could he have had? I found 3 that he either did have or could have had. The first one was schizotypal personality disorder, the second one was schizophrenia, and the third one was antisocial personality disorder. Due to wanting to bring his mother back and trying so by making bodysuits to become her, living in extreme isolation, talking to his deceased mother, laughing randomly to himself, and struggling to understand a reality and a lack of remorse. He could have been helped by taking antipsychotic medication or going to support groups, having people to talk to, and maybe even more interaction with other people. So what I learned from this is that learning about edging helped me understand psychological effects in a more realistic way. I used chapter 6, learning, and chapter 14, stress, lifestyle, and health. In the learning chapter, we talked about how people pick up behaviors from their environment, and seeing how Jean grew up made me realize how much someone's surroundings can shape their actions. And the stress chapter also connected because it showed how long-term stress and trauma can change the way that someone thinks and how someone copes. Studying his case made me see that extreme behaviors usually come from years of negative experience and not just one event. This project helped me understand that how psychology explains real people and real things and not just examples in a book. So, in conclusion, Ed obviously had some underlying issues underneath his belt before he committed his crimes, but in the end, it was all preventable, and he definitely could have had a different life behind him. I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and thank you for watching.